Hello, welcome 5th grade percussionists. This is Mr.Klopchin, one of the band teachers in Washingtonville, and today we're going to be talking about how to put together your bell kit. When you get a bell kit from a rental company, there are going to be two basic kinds of stands that come to set your bell kit on. The stands are going to look dramatically different. I'm going to show the camera what they look like. The first kind looks like this. It's got a little spinny kind of thing right here that kind of twists back and forth, as you can see, spinning it, okay? And then the other part has these legs that kind of come out a little bit. It looks like the bottom of the bell stand as well. So if you have two pieces that have these little rubberized things on them, then that's the kind you have. So again, there's this one with a little spinny piece, kind of looks like a bow tie. And then the other one has a whole set of things. They look very different. So hopefully you guys can tell the difference between the two different types, okay? Now, when you go to set either type up, what's nice is the bottom part is going to look pretty much the same. So what you're going to want to do is to set up your bell kit, you're going to start with the lower half first, okay? The lower half has got a little screw on top, a screw on the other legs on the bottom. And once you get this piece out, what you're going to do is you're going to start turning the bottom screw. Now, if it's too tight for you, you might want to ask your parents for help, okay? And you don't want to do what I just did. I did that on purpose to show you that if you keep unscrewing, it'll come all the way out. So what I say is just do it a little bit until you can fully and freely move the legs. The legs are on the bottom here, okay? So you spread the legs out a little bit and you tighten back up. Because we're doing two different types today, let me do that with the other one to show you again. So here's the screw one more time. I'm undoing that. I'll get a little closer so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so there's the screw right there, and all I'm doing is just screwing it back so that I can get the legs to come on out. So once I get the legs out, I spread them out so that they're kind of like this. I don't want to do it too much where it's like flat, and I don't want to do it completely like this, because we got to make sure that we have a good base of support for our bell kits. So once I get the legs the way I want them, I tighten the stand on the bottom like this. Okay, just like that. Okay. Now, the next step, whether you have the spinny bow-kindy top or the one that has an additional set of legs, you're going to put the next part in the same way. I'm going to get a little closer to the camera here to show you what I mean. You'll see inside the legs, there's a little tiny hole right there. All you do is you take the other part, back up a little bit. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. And all I do is I have to unscrew this screw a little bit. I've got another screw right here. Just like on the bottom, I unscrew it a little bit, and then I insert the top half. Now, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find where it's about halfway up your waist. This stand's a little small for me, so I'm just going to do it as tall as it will go because it doesn't really reach an ideal spot for me. The ideal spot would be to get the stand so that it comes up to right below your belly button. I'll show you on my other stand here. This one's a little taller. Again, I'm just going to show you here. Here's the screw that does the legs. We already tightened that up to get the legs good. Then we've got to untighten this part so we can get the top half in. Now again, I want it to come right below my belly button. So like I said, this one's a little taller. So that's perfect for me right there because I stand up and look right below my belly button. Perfect. So there's no exact height for everyone other than the fact that you want to make it right below your belly button. All right, so first we're going to look at the spinny bow-kindy top of bell stand. So if you have the other type of bell stand, feel free to skip over this section and go to that part. If you have the spinny bow-kindy top, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your bell kit, and you're going to notice on the bottom, there's a little hole right here. Okay, I'll let that come into focus a little bit. All right? Now what you're going to do, what I would recommend, I should say, is to put it on the floor gently. Don't want to damage your instrument. And then take your stand the way it is, and you're going to match this piece right here on the top. Okay, let's show you this way. There we go, that's better. This kind right here on the top is going to fit in this hole perfectly. Boom. Once you've got that in, you twist the whole stand a little bit. So basically it fits in like a puzzle. Let me kind of show you if I can do this. So again, so there it is. There's that hole. I insert the stand like this, just like a puzzle would go, and then I twist the stand to make sure it can't come out. It can't come out now. Even if I were to, please don't do this at home, if you were to let it go, it wouldn't fall out. Then you're going to want to tighten the little bow tie twisty part up, and voila, you are set up for success. You want to have the smaller side towards the right-hand side of your body and the bigger side towards the left-hand side of your body. Okay. If you had that kind, feel free to stop right here and go back and watch the video and figure out how to do it on your own. Now, welcome back to our friends that have the other type. If you have the other type, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to, again, just like we did down here, and just like we did down here on the legs, we're going to unscrew the screw, not all the way out, but just enough so we can get these arms and legs on the bell kit straight. Okay? Sometimes they might come up too high. Sometimes you might have them a little low, and if you can't get them to go any higher, well, then you got to try to unscrew the screw a little bit. If it comes out, you just pop it back in and tighten it up again. So anyway, I got my legs in place. And what I want to do is I want to have the big side on my left-hand side. So what I do is I go like this, L. I look at my hand, and to me, this looks like an L. To you, that looks backwards, okay? But to me, this looks like an L. So I make sure my big side's on the left side and my tiny side's on the right side. Then I grab my bell set, and there's a little tiny hole right there. You might not even be able to see it. It's a little tiny hole. Hopefully you can see it when you're looking at it, but I'm saying on the video you might not be able to see it. And all you're going to do is you're going to match that hole up with a little screw right on the bell kit itself. Okay? And then you might have to adjust the legs a little bit, but basically the legs on the top here are going to support the bell kit so it can't move around. Now, unfortunately, you got to be careful because if you try to turn it upside down, not that you would, but if you try to turn it upside down, then you're going to have a hard time playing your bell kit because it'll be everywhere. So for both this one and the other one, that's how you do it. And to take it apart, you do the exact opposite. You untighten all those screws, you get it back to the way it was, and then you are ready to learn how to play your first couple of notes and move on to the next video. Speaking of which, that brings us to an end. So hopefully you didn't have any trouble putting together your bell kit. If you do, talk to your teacher, and they'll be happy to help you. Have a great day.